Hey all, and welcome back to Pokémon Colosseum. Mirror B's been leading us on a merry chase, so hopefully if we head into Pyrite Cave we'll be able to find him, but first, a Pokémon battle, because it's a Pokémon game.
Well, of course, we're still on the ever-long trail toward Mirror B, because this is a part of the game where the slow pacing really does show, because we've just had this part of going up the stairs to the buildings, like a battle every 2 fucking steps.
Yeah.
Then we had the Mirror B peons, and then we've got like about that length again before we get to the boss. And it's weird because the game does have a few spots like this, but I think it's because this is so early on compared to where you usually get the slow sections in Pokemon games that it really stands out to me.
Yeah, you've got a point there. It would usually be in, like, I don't know, Silphco, if we go by Gen 1 and whatnot. So, I don't know, I'm of the opinion that if you're going to have, like, long stretches of stuff, you should pace them out effectively, and, like, at least the mid-game is where this sort of stuff should start coming in, not, like, the first third.
Yeah, because, there is the idea of, starting off slow and getting you used to it, because, if you think early dungeons in, say, Gen 1, you get Mount Moon to start with, which really isn't that overwhelming. You get a few annoying wild Pokemon, but you can skip most of the battles and there's not really that much going on. Whereas compared to, you've got a staircase up and there's a trainer every 3 fucking steps.
From what I remember, anyway, and bear with me, my memory of Pokémon Colosseum is not that great because it's been such a long time. But from what I remember, anyway, this was sort of the longest section like this that really appears anywhere else in the game. Like, you go and deal with any of the other Cypher admins, because obviously that's what Mirror B is, and I don't remember any of them being this long. They were just sort of like one dungeon that was maybe about the length of one of these. Perhaps the longest being right at the end of the game, but then at the end of the game it makes sense for it to happen.
I don't know, because there are still a few more spots that do go on beyond their welcome, really.
Oh,
but,
yeah.
It's one of the things, I say, because it's early on, it stands out more. You don't really get the little paddling pool before you're thrown in the deep. You're just thrown straight right fucking in.
What a cute analogy. Are we going to catch this Quillfish or what? Also, there's a Pokemon that very rarely gets brought up. Oh god, I'm starting to sound like Helldragon in my old age now.
He's not that much older than you, is he?
He's like a year older, but man, that year has seen some shit.
Yeah, well, where the fuck do you think I feel talking to you fucking old man? Jesus.
I'm a man-child. I age on the outside, but never on the inside. Fluffy is confused. What are you gonna do about it?
Nothing, because it got good RNG, so I was able to do its paralysis attack anyway. So now it should be much easier to actually catch this fucking thing.
Nice. Alright, we're just gonna whittle it down a bit more. Oh, you go for the Lagoon, cool. I know Pokemon, I know how double battles work, very slowly in this case.
Yeah, very, very slowly, and that's one thing I think I hadn't realised this, or at least I didn't recall it, but I seem to recall someone left a comment mentioning that XD sped the battle animations up, which, if so, that's is something that was desperately needed, because I haven't actually played XD in years, as fond memories as I have of it.
I think they probably are right in that, because it also helped that more of the fights in that were single battles, so that immediately helped me.
Not really.
Of the games, but then there were it was more even than it was in Colosseum, which is obviously double battle central. Everything's a double battle. Whereas XD, you had single battles and double battles, so it did speed it up, and they probably did speed up the animations as well.
You had 2 mandatory single battles, and after that it's only the forced-in wild Pokemon encounters that are single. So it does still have the double battle benefits and problems. It's just if they've managed to speed up the animations itself and make individual battles not take as long, that probably does wonders in that respect.
I'm gonna be honest, I have no idea what you're talking about, because I never played XD myself. I was I had to cheat to get to the end of Colosseum, because I just couldn't be doing with the gameplay style and whatnot. I've already talked about this, I'm not gonna bring it up and bitch about it again, but that's the main reason I never played the sequel.
Because you're a fucking casual, I understand.
Hey, I suck at Vidya.
You suck at the video games where there's not really any live action. You sit there and think.
Yeah, thinking's nice. Alright, Pyrite Cave. How long will it be before we fight another trainer? There's some stairs, and there was like... Was that the Hat Girl from Hat in Time? The DLC drops today! Yes, I'm so excited!
To be honest, I'm not really too bothered about that. I'm more bothered about the fact that I can play more Spidey after this, and then there's the Nintendo Direct that was supposed to happen, so, immediately dating this part, but then to be fair, it's only coming out, like, a few days, maybe a week later than we're recording it, so who really cares?
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Alright, what do we got here? Meditite and Bagon. Meditite, not a bad Pokemon. Bagon, Dragon, obviously. Cheaters use them. People like to be OP. I can't fault them for wanting to win a battle, but I have the better team here, by proxy of Flame, of course.
Yeah, you can't take fucking credit for that, but yeah, it's not the Bagon we get to snag, unfortunately, because that's a much cooler Pokemon than Meditite, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, definitely. Like, I mean, pretty much in every game, the Dragon lines are always the most, well, some of the most impressive ever. There are examples where that's not quite the case.
What ones are you thinking? Because I can't really think of any dragons I dislike.
Well, there's the whole Goomy line, which I think use-wise are not necessarily horrendous. I think they are actually quite good. I think it's just more, I look at them and I'm just like, that's like the most ridiculous design ever.
Well, I'm going to look up the base stats for Goodra here and prove you wrong.
It is pretty based from what I've heard. It just looks a bit derpy, but I suppose you can't have everything unless you like Mega Rayquaza.
Okay, let's see. Its highest base stat is Special Defense 150. Other Pokemon that share this base stat total of 600. Let's see. Alakazam, we have Deoxys, Dragonite, Genesect, Marshadow, which I'm not sure if that's even been released yet, but it sure as shit in Smash Ultimate. Hoo-hoo.
Oh, I think Marshadow might have been, actually. Let me double check.
I will say, out of all them Pokemon you listed off, Dragonite is still my favourite, and like maybe that is a bit of like nostalgia fag bias, but like I fucking love that guy, you know.
He's cute, I suppose. Did we ever get like an explanation as to what that huge Dragonite was doing, like trying to accost Bill at the lighthouse?
It was the early days of the anime, and they were making shit up as they went along. That's
Yeah.
what was going on there.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah.
Pretty much. So Marshadow, I believe, has been released now. I think pretty much exclusively as like mystery gifts, like online gift thingamajiggy. So I think it was actually released in Japan in 2017 for something or other, but then the event has been from about November 2017-ish to early this year was when Marshadow was released.
Yeah, it says Sun and Moon event, Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon trade. Let's look at its base stats. Oh, 600. Wow, speed and attack of 125. Fighting and Ghost, Gloom Dweller Pokemon. Very interesting, actually.
Yeah, it's a fascinating idea for Pokemon, actually.
Yeah, although speaking of events, recently at the time of recording over here in Europe, the most recent one that I recall was they did a distribution for Latios or Latias, depending on which version of, like, whether you had Sun or Moon. And that thing, I thought that was pretty cool, although it seems weird to me that they just give it to you at level 100. So it's like, you're not really going to have much time training this fucking thing. It's just they give you an OP mon, because fuck it, why not?
Well, I think it's because they've sort of changed how they do those sorts of things now, because obviously back in the day, I remember when like the original Latios Latias event was a thing, because like you'd go into like a game store and they do all like you're hooking up to it, and then you get the event, it was the Eon ticket, and then you could share it with other people, and it was amazing. And you went into the different area and you battled them. It was great. But then they've moved much more towards the you just get it via mystery gift, and here's a free Pokemon that's ridiculously powerful. I mean, haven't they done Poipole, but a shiny one that they've done over mystery gift or something?
Oh,
very
right,
recently?
yeah, because you get the base Poipole, the non-shiny one, in-game.
Yes. And I think quite a few people were making the joke of, well, I guess he's white.
God. But yeah, that is something they do from time to time. Like occasionally you get like anime tie-ins where they'll do like a mystery gift thing, or sometimes just an event where you can get a Pokemon that resembles either the Pokemon from the most recent film, or like I think there have been multiple distributions that are meant to be like Ash's Pikachu and things like that from time to time.
I think there have been. There was also, I think it was around the time of Heart Gold Soul Silver.
Are you talking about Spiky Pichu?
Notch-eared Pichu, I believe was the specific. Well, there might have been a Spiky Pichu as well. I don't know. There's been many Pokemon events over the years, and it's kind of nuts.
I think they have kind of downgraded a bit in terms of not having the in-game side of things. Although I do know that a lot of them went wasted because, like, these, like, I think it's Spear Pillar event, like in Diamond and Pearl, where you get Arceus and that was never actually legitimately used. Like, they built that little event into the game's data, but they never actually distributed the item that you need to do it. They just distributed Arceus itself. So it's like, why was that even there?
I feel like they did something slightly similar with Shaman, although I might be wrong.
Oh, the Oaks parcel thingy. Yeah.
Ugh, who gives a shit about Shaman? Its film was crap.
Oh, but Shaman itself is adorable.
No, it's not. It's like, okay, the sky form is okay in its design. Its base form was like the little hedgehog thing. That's just, it's bland.
No, it's beautiful, and I want to cuddle it close to me and keep it safe and feed it Chit Chats and Kittos. What the fuck was I saying there? I think I was meant to say Kit Kats and Cheetos, but it went the way of the Chepsy Palace again. Shut up, Richie.
Well, you see, there's this problem with cuddling a hedgehog. I don't know, you might want to think about that for a minute before you hurt yourself.
You see, but Arceus took this into account, and you see, Shaman has spikes or spines made of leaves, so it's just like cuddling a bush, essentially.
So, not only are you being weird, you're also being a pussy, got it?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know where we're going with this. Richie, bring us up a new subject that we can use to whittle away the rest of the part.
I like how you think that I'm just able to come up with these things on a whim.
Go on, interesting man, be interesting.
I'm trying! Let's see if I can find anything particularly fun or interesting. I mean, I suppose bring up the whole thing of, you know, Colosseum versus Colosseum, the spelling. Like, for the love of God, that confused me so much over the years, because the first time that I really came across the spelling of the word was Pokémon Colosseum, and so that's how I thought it was always spelt. But then, like, I played Kingdom Hearts, and that had Olympus Colosseum with the other spelling, and I was just like, that's wrong. And then, like, the actual Colosseum, and I'm just like, I don't even know what these are. Like, how do you spell it? Why do we have two different spellings?
To be fair, the one in Kingdom Hearts is translating into Greek, so there may be some discrepancies. It's like the TARDIS. The gummy ship is a TARDIS, essentially. It's just translating the local dialect.
Yeah. The hilarious thing is that, like, in Latin, Colosseums were called amphitheatres. Or Colosseo. So it's just like, I mean, I get the Colosseo, but, like, amphitheatre, why didn't they just call them that?
Oh, I don't know, Pokemon Amphitheatre doesn't really have the same ring to it.
No, it really doesn't, does it?
I don't know, it sounds more like a stage show thing rather than a demonstration of a battle, so...
Well, Richie would like that even more, I think.
Well, yeah, I love a bit of theatre. I mean, I'm actually going to see a musical at the weekend, so, hey, yeah.
Are you ever not seeing a musical, Richie?
I mean, probably not, because I'm generally always listening to a musical soundtrack at some point or other. But I have been seeing a lot more theatre recently than I have been, even though I have been seeing a lot of theatre. Because I went down to London for a week and saw a show every day, including a 2-show day on the Wednesday, which was amazing. And then I'm just seeing more shows because I'm just like, well, you know what, I've got the money, and I love the shows, so why the hell not?
Why the hell not, indeed. Nothing to do with Pokemon, but I appreciate you killing a couple of minutes. Now, Flame, it's your turn. This guy still has a couple of Pokemon left.
Oh, thank God.
Yes, he does. One of them, the Swablu that we're trying to capture. I will say, Swablu's design, I was kind of mixed on that first. I was kind of like, it's a bit cutesy. I'm not sure how to feel when I first saw it, like in the early days of Gen 3 and whatnot. But then I absolutely fell in love with Altaria, the evolution.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's another one of them Pokemon that it doesn't explicitly look dragon at first glance, but it has dragon element to it.
Yeah, pisses me off, so it does. Like, just be what you are. Look what you are.
Yeah, it's like, I love dragon types. It's my favourite type in the game. Like, if I could practically find a way to use all dragons, I probably would. Like, it's really cool from a design perspective, and having the dragon element see. It's just fighting against them can be a pain in the ass because they have so many resistances, especially Kingdra. Kingdra is the worst one for that because, like, his only weakness is dragon.
Yeah, that's when it's a pain.
Water also brings in the ice resistance as well. Although, like, nowadays there's fairy, but like back in the days of Gen 3, like, you know, that thing would take forever to fucking get rid of.
Yeah, don't forget Gen 2 with Claire.
Oh yeah, like that was her big final one, at least to my recollection, and
It was, yes, and it was awful and terrifying, and yeah, just I really did not like Claire's Kingdra. It was cruel.
then when you do beat it, she throws a hissy fit and makes you go into the cave at the back to waste even more time, because that's fun.
Well, it was better than Whitney, I suppose, but why do I like Gen 2 again? Maybe we'll never know. We'll see you next time when the music plays with Mirror B. See you then.